So November is my birthday month, and this year I'm turning 55, which I cannot even believe I am saying these words. I feel like most people say, I've turned 40 or I turned 50 or I turned 60, and I don't feel that age, and I certainly do not feel 55. Um, and I think that's the tricky thing about life, right? I think this is what 55 is supposed to feel like. I think that if we're in good health, there's a lot to be grateful for. And, I feel like a lot of people kind of fall into two different buckets, right? Either they're dreading the fact that they're in midlife now, or they're really thriving and just really appreciating everything. And so I feel like I really fall into the second bucket, and there's a lot of reasons for that. I mean, my mom had a massive stroke in front of me when she turned 65. After she was 65, I was 32 at the time, and it changed our entire family's life, right? And so it was a real wake-up call about the preciousness of time and, what we need to do in this lifetime. So for today's video, I want to talk to you about some of the things that I've learned over the last 55 years, or actually probably more in the last 5 years or so, now that I'm kind of smack dab in the middle of my 50s. So first thing, change is constant. There's no denying it. There's no preventing it. I think that the more that we embrace the change, I think the better off that we're going to be. And I think that, not allowing it to cause stress in our lives, and knowing that even the bad change will pass, and as well as the good change, right? So I think that I feel like each decade of our lives, we start to evolve into the beings that we are presently. And I think that the more that we embrace that and the more that we can appreciate that, the better we're just going to be able to adapt, and the better time we're going to have, and the more that the opportunities will come because we're going to be able to see them. And instead of just kind of really focusing in on the negative. It's hard, for sure, for many people, and some people have really hard situations. I know that my family did. For many, many years, trying to struggle through, caregiving for 19 years, as, trying to have a career, trying to figure out when we were going to be parents, when we could afford to be parents. All these things are all happening at the same time. So change is constant, and embrace it. Time is limited. Time is super limited. And I think that that's something that I really realized on my 50th birthday. I feel like we go through our 20s and our 30s in some weird way, like we're never going to get old. And there's some sort of invincibility about feeling like you're going to be youthful your whole life. And then all of a sudden in your 40s, things start happening with your body, things start slowing down, things start changing in your body, in your life. And then in your 50s, you really it smacks you in the face. Like, this isn't going to be forever. And I'm already over the halfway point. So what am I going to do with the time that I have left? And that actually inspired me to really start Modern Aging, to be able to talk with people about how we can age better, how we can embrace this time better, how can we live healthier and more vibrantly, instead of the old joke of going down the hill, because I don't believe in any way, shape, or form that I'm on my way down. I feel like I'm still on my way up. So why can't we just continue to go up until, that last day arrives? And I think that there are ways that we can do that. Control. We have so little control over so many things. And I think that I can be a control freak, I know, over my own space, and I feel like it helps me to think clearly, but I really recognize what I have control over. I don't have control over, what other people think. I don't have control over what other people do. I have very little control over the news, what's happening in the world. All I can do is look at my little circle, and what can I do to keep that circle safe, keep that circle happy, keep that circle grateful for every single moment. And so that's how I choose to live, right? I choose who I spend time with. I choose what I eat. I choose how much exercise I get, or, what movements I get. I choose joy. I choose, what I do every single day, right? We make these choices. And so I think those choices you want to be very mindful of, and how that, because I think that negative behaviors will, stack up upon one another. And if you do it often enough, you're going to start changing the neural pathways in your brain. You're going to start changing the way you think. And if you change the way you think, it changes the things that you do, right? So know what you can control and let go of the rest. Letting go. Once you learn how to let go, it's so liberating and it's so freeing that we can then focus on the things that we love. Love. Love transforms. Love is really hard. Love is a lot of work, but love is exhilarating, right? And it's a lot of one's purpose in life. Whether it's that we love our spouse or love our family, love our fur babies, love our children, love, the plants, love whatever. Whatever it is that brings you joy, that ignites you. It's a magical feeling, and it's really important to find that love in your life. And there's so many different kinds of love. I'm not just talking about romance and sex and that sort of thing. Of course, that has its place, and that's really important, and that also takes work. But I think that we really need to find what it is that gives us love, and what we can love and nurture. Are you one of those people who's scared of aging? Well, you're not alone. There's plenty of people like you who are really devastated about the fact that they can't move the same way anymore. They don't have the same kind of energy. They feel more irrelevant. They feel weaker. They feel like they've hit their peak. And I'm here to tell you that it doesn't have to be so, right? If that's the story that you're telling yourself, then of course, then that's what you're going to believe. But I know plenty of people who in midlife have started careers, have started new businesses, are running marathons, are climbing mountains, are doing all these new endeavors that people said that they should not do or that they could not do, right? But the amazing thing about starting new things in life is that we now have the life experience and the knowledge to be able to pursue these new endeavors with just a whole new sense of, whether it's sensibility or being able to cut out the time in terms of how long it takes us to learn something, to understand our own bodies and the way they work. There of course is a joy in being youthful and not knowing what's coming down the pike, or not really understanding and jumping in, head first into something. But there's a lot of value into knowing what's coming down the pike, and to understand and have that network of friends that you can call who's going to help you, try to reach that next goal. I just think that aging is a gift. It is an absolute gift. Know that not everybody gets to be 55, right? Not everybody gets to be healthy at this age. And I'm super, super well aware of that. I am so grateful every single day to be able to walk my dogs freely as I wish. I can climb upstairs. I can, without pain. I can eat what I want. I can be really, but I'm really mindful every single day of what I'm doing, what I'm eating, how I'm treating my body. And so I feel like that's a gift, right? That's not because I'm scared of getting older. Does it suck that, I don't, my body doesn't function the same way? I don't know. It's just a transition. It's like every single decade gives us something new to be challenged with. And so I just would love for you guys to embrace the aging process. Yes, does it mean that you're closer to death? Yeah, it is. Can we die tomorrow? You can die tomorrow when you're 20 or when you're 30. There is no set time. Just because you're getting older doesn't mean, your expiration date is any closer. Yeah, technically, yeah. And if you get to be 80 or 90 years old, oh my God, How lucky are you that you get to live a full life? Being scared of dying and death is a real thing for a lot of people. And I feel like for me, I've had to confront it a lot in my life, and I'm no longer scared of it. I am I feel like it's just a process. I feel like it's part of life. Don't feel like my parents have, yes, they have moved on from this physical life, but I do feel their presence every single day. I feel like in many ways they're much more at peace than they were in this physical life. Well, all of us, I think most of us are scared of death because we just don't know what's going to happen, right? And quite frankly, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So, but we're not scared of tomorrow, right? So I feel like, yes, while if we cannot control our death, then let it go and enjoy the life that you can control. Enjoy the people that you can be with. Enjoy the things that you can do right now. The biggest thing that I've learned in my adult life, pretty much since my mom got sick, is the importance of taking care of ourselves. And this is not just, what we eat and how much we exercise. Yes, those things are super important. But for our overall health, it's a lifestyle, right? It's a lifestyle that we choose. It's, you know, we need to eat healthy. We need to eat less sugar. We need to be exercising more. We need, as we get older, especially, we need to focus on strength and balance. Those are very, very key because as we know, the older we get, the more sedentary we are. And that's when we start losing our strength and our balance. And as soon as you lose your strength and balance, you're more prone to falls. And then once you fall and you break a bone because your bones are weaker, the repair process takes much longer. So what can we do? We can just prevent the fall to begin with, right? We can do simple things in our everyday life. So if you're not one to like to exercise all the time, then there are a few things that you can do. When you're brushing your teeth, you can stand on one foot, right? And while you're brushing your teeth to help yourself learn how to balance. When you're at the kitchen counter and you're putting something in the microwave, do some push-ups off the counter. Try that. Or if you can hold a plank, try to hold a plank every single day. That could be 5 seconds today, 10 seconds tomorrow, 15 seconds the next day, until you're up to a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, because it's going to make a difference. There's a compound effect of all these things that you can do in your life. If you can walk, go for a walk every single day, right? Eat healthy, eat more vegetables. If you're a heavy meat eater, try to eat less meat, right? Try to incorporate more vegetables. Maybe you have a no meat Monday. Maybe you have, just a big salad, you know, make it, once a day if you can do that. Make sure you have vegetables at every single meal. Who you spend your time with is so critical because it's not only just hanging out with your friends, but it's having your people, right? Having your tribe. Because those people, to be able to depend on those people for when things get tough, but also to be able to celebrate with them when times are really good, that helps to alleviate stress. And when you alleviate stress, that does all sorts of things in your body, right? It helps to reduce inflammation. It helps to bring and help the neural pathways in your brain. It helps with your heart. It helps with your circulatory system. So these things are not, they actually physically manifest themselves in their body on a cellular level. When you feel joy and when you feel safe. And you feel that when you feel connection with your people. If you're not getting enough sleep, you need to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep. That's scientific. It is, our bodies need the rest to be able to regenerate our cells. It's not just about just resting. It's about the fact that our bodies and our brains really need to regenerate themselves, and we can only do that through proper sleep. So if you're not getting proper sleep, there's all sorts of different ways that you can, maybe you have sleep apnea. If you have sleep apnea, you should get tested for it if you think that there's even a possibility. If you need Sleep aids, you want to try to get away from the pharmaceuticals because they're extremely addictive and not good for you long term. But there's things like melatonin, there's CBD, there's all different sorts of plant medicines that you can try. Some people have even tried ketamine or psychedelic mushrooms. These are all more experimental, and everything should go through your doctor. But know that sleep is so critical for your overall health. Your environment, you want to make sure that you live in an environment that makes you feel good, that makes you feel safe. And I'm talking about your home and your office. These help to alleviate stress. A lot of the stress levels that we feel are constant, and when we feel constant stress, that raises inflammation, and the inflammation in our body then manifests itself into disease. So that's why it's so important to lower your stress levels. So you can lower your stress levels with, exercise, with laughter and hanging out with friends that you love, and family that you love. There's doing all sorts of things, doing sports, whatever it may be, but you need to reduce the stress. So these are some of the things that I've been thinking about as I celebrate taking another loop around the sun. I hope you found some of them helpful. And, as we continue to move into 2023, I just want you to embrace yourself, the things that you love, the things that bring you joy, and just embrace the fact that, yeah, we're getting older, but what a wonderful, wonderful thing, and what a gift it really is. I thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Modern Aging.